everything to be balanced, but it's really hard to do that. Being honest with yourself is like the best balance that you can possibly obtain. Every time I hear the conversation around like work-life balance, I'm so clear that everyone's reaching for, like, those people are reaching for the thing that can't be reached for because it doesn't exist, and it's like a constantly moving barometer or flag or something there. And for me, what I know is that I have tried forever to just balance myself. I can't work life balance because something will always take precedent because nothing is ever equal in our life. Like if you try to make all things equal and you do your best to make all things equal and put yourself on a, I got to answer this. Hey, I'm on Tequila with Tiffany right now. Give me like 10 minutes. No, that's okay. I'm live somewhere in the world. Like you go see. Give me 10 minutes. See, that's work life balance. So I used to look at women who were trying to achieve this work life balance and then they deluded me and made me feel like they had actually achieved it. Liars. And so I used to feel bad about myself because I was like, well, shit, how come I can't do this? How come I can't get to this work life balance thing? Like, it doesn't even exist for me. And I would feel like really like bad as a mom, and I would feel bad about the fact that I was at the office late, and it was always this battle. And then every once in a while I'd run into a woman who'd be like, oh no, I can't do that because I need to stop working at 4 o'clock because I need to be there for Benjamin and stare at Benjamin. And I'd be like, well, I want to stare at my kids too, but how are you going to stare at the kids and pay the bills? Like, just tell me how that works, you know? Because I was possibly trying to get her to pay some of my bills, which is the truth of the matter. Now, real talk between you and me. Number one, not only is there not work life balance, but there's also not work life balance. There is you balancing yourself and you balancing the work as you see fit. For some people, work is fun. I know that sounds crazy, but there are people, and I don't want, if you're that person, don't feel bad about it and stop apologizing to other people for it. Like, there is nothing wrong with it. And I'm so sick of this culture that makes people feel bad for enjoying the work they do. Now, if you are hiding at work because you won't deal with the home issues you got, that's a different problem. If you're in a relationship or you got kids who have serious problems and you keep taking your butt over to the office because it's easy to hide there, that's totally different and you have a problem. And yes, that's bad. In the same breath, if you're obsessed with making money and everything you do is about making money and depositing dollars, yeah, you can go and chase that, but something else will crumble. But if you can truly say to yourself, I am having fun at work, or I enjoy my work is fulfilling, then I actually do believe that you might do more work than you do family. You just need to make sure that your overall year is balanced. Let me give you an example. So I enjoy working. And the first 10 years of my life, my business life, I felt bad and guilty for doing that. I used to cry when people would, make me feel guilty from I didn't miss anything. And that's my whole point. I worked a lot because I enjoyed it. But then I started really enjoying my work. Like when I'm at the studio, when I'm at work with my team, I love being with them. There is so much fun to be had. There's giggles and laughs, and it's just a great environment. So, yeah. But I want you to know that my work environment can't be great and my home environment is poor. That's not going to work either. My home environment is the exact same way. It is full of laughter and giggles and fun and hugs and warmth. And why this is important for me, because the moment that you let go of the ideas that other people have given you, like the moment you let go of the fact that you should have a work-life balance, the easier it's going to be for you to figure out how to scale your life and scale your business right inside of it. So let's say you were going to start over tomorrow and you're like, you know what? I need to start over. I'm going to start over in my life. I'm going to start doing something different and new. Let me tell you, step number one is don't do it alone. Don't do it alone and don't do it in your head. Every single time I've had to like start over, I wanted to do something new. You know what I did? Right behind it, the thing that I did is I actually made a decision to tell people. Like, why would I tell people? Because other people had the answer. And I know that multiple people carrying the yoke makes it lighter. You ever just like imagine if you could get to your next level, whatever your next level is for yourself, but you focused on making the experience lighter. Like stop making stuff harder unless you really, really need to. There's a couple of things that I don't believe in. I don't believe in keeping all of my dreams and ideas to myself. Not only do I not believe in keeping my dreams and ideas to myself, but I don't believe in keeping my dreams and my ideas to myself simply to make other people feel good, especially when it comes to expanding in my company. Cheers. Mm, when it comes to something that we're going to do that's like really a lot of fun or exciting, like we just announced today to ourselves only that we're going to be doing a whole tour. First, it started out with a book tour because I wrote a book last year. I got sick. We never did the launch. There's been this debate on whether or not we could support doing the launch because it's been so long that I'm like, if we don't do the launch, then what do we write the book for? That's kind of where I came to this month. And then I was like, then everybody's like, oh, but not everybody in the team, just in general, like, but Tiffany, and we wrote it a long time ago. We didn't do launch then, but I was like, we're still alive. So as long as we're still alive, why does it matter? Let's just go ahead and do the launch like we wrote the book this week. Who's and as wild as this sounds, and this is specifically for you, the person who feels like they're behind in whatever it is they didn't get accomplished or they started something, didn't finish. Who's gonna know that you're behind but you? So what if I wrote the book a year ago? There is no law in the book. There is no law in the Bible. There is no law in the Constitution that says that I have to go and do a book launch right after. That's made up. That's industry standard. It wouldn't have mattered if I wrote that book 10 years ago. What matters is that I feel that that thing is important right now. What have you been sitting on or leaving behind that you're like, oh, this thing is important and I didn't finish it? You need to go ahead and get it done. The biggest thing that I've seen in CEOs, like I've been spending a lot of time with CEOs who are doing probably north of maybe 700, 750,000. And the number one gap that I've seen is that they don't finish the things that they started. They don't finish the things that they've started. They don't finish the things that they started. Like I can't emphasize that enough. They start great ideas, but because they run out of money or bandwidth or team or whatever it is, they don't finish it. And then so much time has gone by. They're like, I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to bring it back up. I don't want to look stupid. I was like, well, I don't care about looking stupid. I actually don't care anymore about looking stupid. I never have. But if I didn't before, like I sure as hell don't now because I can't. Because when I'm gone, all of this is just going to be here. And the only thing that's going to matter is whether or not I finish the assignment that I was given to finish. Like, if you really peel back life, think about this for a moment with me. Everybody's dropping their panties and losing their mind to go and buy a house. And again, I know someone's going to be pissed off and be like, Tiffany, did you tell everybody to not buy a house? That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is this: we spend all this money and time to go and buy a house, right? And the truth is that you and I are going to leave the house here. No matter how much money we spend on this house, we're going to leave the house here when we go. Do you get that? Think to yourself that you were like, man, I'm going to spend $500,000 and I'm going to go buy a house. I'm going to spend $1 million because if you're in LA, I rented a house in LA that was like $2 million in value. And I'm like, this is crazy. First of all, it weren't worth $2 million, but that's a different conversation. But the truth of the matter is that all I could think to myself is, okay, great. You take $1 million out of your life and you go ahead and you mess around and you spend all this money, 30 years of your life for the house, but yet you haven't told your story that will live on this planet forever. You don't have enough memories that bring smiles to your face every minute, every hour, nonstop. You can't really say to the next person that you're living or doing something that's rich or that you have richness, but yet we spent everything that we were to buy a house, a piece of property that will be left here for someone else to inhabit. I know that that sounds wild, but that is one of the truest statements and truest feelings that I have. The fact that you have an opportunity to truly be about your business And I mean yourself. You have an opportunity to face yourself and win, but yet we don't do it. We don't finish the project because we feel like, oh, well, too much time has gone by. I don't want to look like a fool, or I'm too dot, dot, dot. Just the other day, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I am going to go back to school. Now, my goal is not to get you to consider anything more than whatever is true to you. When was the last time you allowed yourself to own where you were and to dream out loud? Owning where you are in silence is one thing, but owning where you are publicly is everything. As a CEO, one of the things that I'm looking to do or to gather or to become is to be more embarrassed more often. And it's like, why do I look to be embarrassed more often? Because it means that I'm taking more risk. And if I know that I'm taking more risk, then that means that I really have an opportunity for something amazing to happen. And I'm not living this life so that basic things can happen. I'm really living this life. Like, why are you living this life? I'm living this life so that amazing things can happen. Every time I turn around, I'm convicted with the truth of myself, but I'm also convicted with the truth of, um, no, I'm not going to be able to figure it all out, but I will be able to figure out whatever is within my grasp and whatever I have the capacity to do. And if I can just focus on that, then that's good enough. I think that's my whole sentence. Somehow, way, shape, form, figure, I want to be clear. I want you to be clear. I want us to be clear together that wherever and whatever you are or are not, that it is good enough. That's it. I am done. I am 100% finished. I know. I said that I was going to do such and that in that way, and I want to keep my word. I absolutely want to keep my word. I'm good. I'm done.